In this video, we are going to see different websites from Spain. We are going to talk about the government website, which is lamoncloa.gov.es, then the National Mint and Stamp, and then we will see some specific websites such as the tax agency or Social Security. For that, we go to the web, and notice that I have put here www.lamoncloa.gov.es, and I get to this page where I have information about the President of the government, about the government with its composition, the agenda, the governments by legislatures. Well, this will take a while because here I have the different ministers, vice presidents, the Council of Ministers, meetings, references, summaries, press conferences, then the press part, newsletter, news for each of the ministries, then multimedia videos, photo galleries, photo library. Here we have the priorities of the government right now regarding the recovery plan, the vaccine, the COVID, the issues that are hot right now at the time of recording this video. And here in Spain we have the Constitution, symbols of the state, organization of the state, general data. We are going to accept the cookies here, so we can see that here we have a search engine, here a contact, and here we can change the language, the different languages of the Spanish state. Well, after this we have, I want to tell you, the web of the National Mint and Stamp Factory, www.fm.es. That is. Why? Because this web is interesting, because this web allows us to obtain a downloadable digital certificate. We can have a digital certificate in our DNI, but in addition we can download a software certificate to install in our computers, to be able to interact with all the public administrations, to be able to demonstrate that we are us. So here inside the electronic office, look that we go here to obtain certificates. Here we have the manual to obtain electronic certificates, and here inside it tells us, since it is for an individual, I have applied for it. Because I am an individual. What certificate one can obtain is essentially a matter of managing it online. Later, you have to go to one of the state centers where you can prove your identity with your ID card. It could be a branch of the tax agency, a branch of Social Security. There are plenty of places. So you go there with your ID, they give you a code, and then you can download the certificate, which you can use to identify yourself with the tax agency, Social Security, and many institutional websites. Okay, here we have it. Also, when we talk about a representative certificate, a public administration certificate, well, we have a bit of everything. If we enter the individual certificate section, it explains who can obtain it, how to obtain it, what it is used for, etc. Well, it is quite useful to have a FNMT certificate to access administration services, and one of the services we can access is the tax agency. Well, on the tax agency's website, sede.agenciatributaria.gov.es, I mentioned the B because in English it is with V, it's gov with V, so someone might get confused. Well, we have the electronic registry, declaration submission, appointment scheduling, and here, for example, we go to the taxpayer's declaration submission. Well, we have the taxpayer's calendar. Well, here we can enter, file and consult returns. Here we have the different returns by model. Well, it would be easier, let's go back a little, for example, if we want to file the income tax, well, we have it. Or VAT or corporate tax, all right? Income tax will allow us to submit it either with a digital certificate or with a mechanism called clave that allows obtaining a simpler set of digits than the digital certificate based on the previous year's declaration. Okay, so let's go here. We can obtain our registration details, our reference number to work with. Here you enter your ID or NIE, or if not, you can access it with the mentioned certificate or the electronic ID. We are going to go through all the procedures here. Okay, so here we have taxes and fees. As you can see, we are in the electronic headquarters of the tax agency. Here we have taxes and fees, we have VAT, corporations, etc. Another interesting website is that of the Social Security, which is seg-social.es. Well, you can see that here we have information about us, workers, pensioners, news, but here we have direct access to the electronic headquarters. Well, you can see that here we have access to the electronic headquarters. Well, they also have a chatbot here to help us with shall we say important at the moment, such as the minimum vital income. And here you have an electronic office and electronic registry. Then we go to the electronic office, and here we can do a lot of procedures for citizens. For companies, for example, we can request the European health card. Well, I am going to put here, for example, this reports and certificates, different accreditations, etc. Okay, then here we have gone to reports and certificates. Well, we can go to registration, data validation, other procedures, healthcare assistance. Some of these include the right to consult with European health assistants, request a European health insurance card. Okay, so we can request it here, for example, with an electronic certificate or with a username and password, or with a code, which is the mechanism I mentioned, or via SMS if they have our phone number to request the European health insurance card. You see right now, I don't have a certificate installed on this computer, but if I had a certificate, it would have prompted me because I said I wanted to access with a certificate. Here I can request the European health insurance card and download a document so that if I have to travel before it arrives, which usually takes 4 or 5 days, I can have a printed certificate that serves the same purpose. Well, with this, I conclude the video where I've talked about a series of Spanish government websites, such as the one for Moncloa, the National Mint and Stamp Factory, to obtain the digital certificate needed to access and identify oneself on other state or regional websites. We've also looked at the tax agency and Social Security websites.